Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Bryan Stephens and I am the President and CEO of the Hampton Roads Chamber. Welcome to another edition of Hampton Roads Chamber Chats. We're honored today to have with us Mr. Shawn Avery. Shawn is the President and CEO of the Hampton Roads Workforce Council. Welcome, Shawn.
Thanks for having me today, Bryan.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the Hampton Roads Workforce Council.
So, as you know, I've been the president of the council for about 6 years, and since that time really had an opportunity to change the direction of the organization to be more focused on the business community's needs, which fits great with what the chamber is doing, and making sure that we're developing the talent in the region to be successful. And so the Hampton Roads Workforce Council has been around for about 47 years and gone through 47 years.
I know it used to be called Opportunity Inc.
It used to be called Opportunity. It's gone through a number of different names, but finally I think we've settled on a cool name that's really reflective of what we want to do in this region and be part of the regional identity, the Hampton Roads, and really focus on what we're good at, which is developing our workforce.
Great. Well, you do such a great job at it. And you have some big news, because I think here next week something becomes official. Is that right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got some big exciting news going on. After about a year and a half, 2 years of planning, we're going to be merging into one new organizational structure that's going to represent all 15 cities and counties here in Hampton Roads. It's taken about 47 years to get there, but we're both there, and so now we'll still be called the Hampton Roads Workforce Council, but instead of just representing the 8 cities and counties on the south side, we'll represent all the way up to Williamsburg, James City County, and Gloucester. So we'll represent all 15 cities and counties here in the region.
Why is that important, Shawn? Why is it important to have one regional workforce council?
Because the business community really does not care where their employees come from, and so when we're talking to a business, where we're talking to a new prospect that economic development's bringing in, they want to know where they're going to get their talent from, and so they want to be able to talk to one source that's going to be able to say, we've got these programs that we can do for you. We've got this opportunity where we can bring talent to your employment opportunities, and they don't want to have to talk to 2 different organizations. And so it's important to have one voice when we're talking for this effort. And since we are one regional economy, we're one workforce, we're one region, we need to be talking like that. And so our business community really understands that, and finally was like, you know what, we don't need to have 2 workforce boards doing the same job, doing the same thing. We need to come together, pull our resources together, and really make a difference in the talent that we have here in the region.
Well, you know, I've operated in this environment for about 6-7 years as well, and I can tell you that a merger like this took tremendous leadership on your part, Shawn, and you did it masterfully. And I just want to congratulate you for pulling the workforce councils together. I think it's going to pay big dividends for our business community throughout the region. So again, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Bryan. And again, as one of my board members and one of our executive committee and a key supporter, it really was the business community and our board of directors that really helped take the leadership and really say, this is something we have to do. It's hard to make changes. You know, there's individuals' lives that are involved, and the good thing is nobody lost their jobs in this merger. It was a positive reflection on our board's leadership that this is what we need to do to make a difference in our region, and we did it. And really, I appreciate the leadership and our partners such as the Chamber of Commerce that really helped us make that it happen.
Absolutely. Proud to support.
Well, thank you.
You know, the business community always has challenges. COVID has put them through some extraordinary challenges. But one of the constant challenges is finding talented people as employees. Are there gaps in our employment and our labor force here in Hampton Roads? And if so, what are those gaps?
There are. I mean, you know, COVID really did do some struggles for everybody. And coming out of COVID, the good thing is our economy's humming again. It's really picking up steam. You know, I think we're coming out of this stronger with what we're doing with the 757 recovery and resilience efforts and coming together as partners. But we are seeing some gaps in what the employers need and what the workforce is producing. Skilled trades is still a big one. We've got the shipyards continuing to grow, continuing to produce and repair our Navy, and they're having a struggle finding workforce. Our hospitality industry is really bouncing back very nicely, but at the same time, the employees they need to be successful aren't just there. And it's not just because there's not individuals. We're not able to bring in some of those individuals from overseas that were filling jobs. There's still some gaps in the unemployment and individuals that are coming back to work. There's gaps in the labor force. And so we're really trying to pick that up and figure out how we can be very creative in filling some of these positions out there. So again, every industry is seeing this, manufacturing, information technology. And so really it's our job as a Workforce Council to come up with these creative strategies, from developing our skilled trades, developing new recruitment efforts to bring people into the labor force, helping our underemployed individuals who may be working 2 to 3 jobs figure out this new career pathway that they need to be on so that they can get the training they need to be successful and enter these career pathways.
Yeah, I think you're doing a good job of all that. But again, I think from what I know from sitting on your board and from dealing with businesses, it's the trade skills that we have some real gaps. And when you look at offshore wind coming and all the requirements there for trade skills, it's going to get more problematic, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it's going to get tighter and tighter, but the good thing is we have educational partners here in the region that do have the resources to grow the workforce we have here, to increase their output. And so we just need to make sure we're identifying those needs, make sure we're timing them properly.
Right.
The worst thing we could do is put somebody through a offshore wind training program, and there's only 2 turbines off the coast right now. We just got to make sure we're timing them right. The good thing is why Hampton Roads is such a strong player in the offshore wind and will be for many years to come is that the skills needed for the offshore wind industry match very perfectly what we're already producing for the shipbuilding, ship repair industry, and even the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel expansion.
Yeah.
Welding, skilled trades in those areas, they match very nicely. There's only really about a 10% difference between somebody who's going to work in the offshore wind industry and somebody who's repairing one of the ships right across the river here. And so, so increasing the capacity in our educational institutions, which we're doing now, working with the community colleges and our for-profits such as Centura and ECPI, increasing the input of individuals coming into those career pathways type of activities, working with our K-12 system to understand the opportunities that are available, and really just building this pathway so that this isn't just quick blips that we produce X number of individuals, they go out to work, and then we feel like we're done. We really got to look at this as a long-term process for the region, and we're developing pathways in many different areas, skilled trades being definitely one of them, but really making sure that we're developing a long-term strategy to make sure we have the workforce here to be successful.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Exactly right. Shawn, one of my passions is helping our military, our veterans, and their family members. Tell me a little bit about what the Workforce Council is doing in that area.
So we're very passionate about that as well. We understand that the veterans, the transition service members, and their families are a key component to our regional economy. Nowhere else in this nation can you go and find every service branch and family members who are willing to stay in this region. And so with the Chamber's leadership, actually, several years ago, we embarked on really pulling together the partners that are in this space, the legitimate partners. Yeah. For you are a transition service member, you know this. As you're leaving the military, it's like darts being thrown at you. There's so many different resources that are coming at you, so many different legitimate and non-legitimate resources that it gets overwhelming for the service members. And so most of the time, they throw their hands up and they leave. They go back home where they have their support mechanisms in place that can help them make that transition. Well, a few years ago, we all came together and said, that's got to stop. Us, the Chambers, Economic Development, the USO, a number of United Way came together and said, we're going to work to support our military. And so the military came on board as well, and we opened the Veterans Employment Center in Norfolk. And so that's been a great resource for the community. Even added a electronic portal to that as well that the Hampton Roads Community Foundation funded called the Hampton Roads Veterans Compass. And so it's been a great success, but again, it's on this side of the water, and we're a new regional organization, so we need to make sure we're meeting the needs of the peninsula as well. And so excited to say that Smithfield Foods has provided us a fairly large grant to open up a Veterans Employment Center in Newport News. And so we're in the process now of finalizing lease, starting the build out, getting all of our partners together just like we did on this side of the water. And so September timeframe, we'll have us a brand new Veterans Employment Center on the peninsula in Newport News, and be ready to start getting service members in there as well. I do want to add though, and this has been, the partners that really made this happen, is that we also have been very much focused on the military spouse.
Yeah.
We know that the spouse really helps dictate where as we all know, our spouses really help to determine where we're going to do. And so we want to make sure that we're helping the spouse as well. And so through the U.S. Chamber, we were designated a military spouse economic empowerment zone a couple years ago. And I'm proud to say that our region was actually voted the #1 military spouse economic empowerment zone in the nation for the services that we're providing to our
That's
spouses
fantastic.
as well. So, and again, could not be done without our partners such as the Chamber and the business
That is
community.
absolutely fantastic. And we do love our military, transitioning military. We want to keep them right here in Hampton Roads because we know what a talented workforce they are.
Absolutely.
You know, Shawn, if I am an employer and I'm looking for some talent, what can you do for me?
So this is our sweet spot as well. So we have a business services team led by Steve Cook, who's our Vice President of Workforce Innovation, former economic development guy, 10 years in that industry, actually probably 15 years in the industry. And he leads a team whose sole responsibility is to meet with the business community, listen to what their needs are, and really develop solutions to those needs. We don't have a cookie cutter response to the business community's needs because it's really determined on what they actually are needing. So we go in there, we talk to them, we determine exactly what they're looking for. Is it recruiting? Is it training? Is it upskilling of their current workforce? And then we put together a package of the resources we're able to offer. So again, we're able to help up-train their current employees. Let's say they're bringing on a new product line or a new assembly line. We're able to go in there and help to upskill them, provide the training dollars to help bring them up. We're able to even provide, say, they want to hire a new individual, but they don't have the skills that they need to be successful. We're able to do on-the-job training where we actually pay a portion of that individual's salary as they get the training that they need.
That's great.
We can do recruitment efforts, we can do job postings, we do mentorships and internships with youth that they want to try to develop career pathways. It really is customizable, and it really is to meet their needs. The one good thing about the merger happening, along with a bunch of other things, is we now represent almost 33% of the funds coming into the Commonwealth for workforce development through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. Out of 14 workforce boards, one workforce board represents between 25 and 33% of the funds. That gives us a lot of resources to be able to work with our business community and meet their needs. And
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I really encourage the businesses to reach out to us.
Reach out to you if they need help
Absolutely.
finding some talent.
Absolutely.
If I am a unemployed or underemployed individual, what can you do for me?
So what we have too, another program we have is called our Virginia Career Work Centers.
Right.
And so we have 6 centers throughout the region, and this includes in Peninsula now. And that is a place where an individual can go in and meet with one of our career developers to really talk about what their needs are. Just like the business community, every individual's needs are different. Somebody may just need resume assistance, somebody may need actual job postings or job search type activities, but there may be individuals who need training, who were in an industry that's not coming back or has changed, and they need to be reskilled into a new industry, get a new career opportunity. Good thing again, with those resources we have, we're able to provide training dollars to an individual. So we're able to send them back to school at no cost to them and get them the new skills that they need, a certification or even up to an associate's degree to get them into the workforce. So again, we encourage individuals to come to one of those centers, meet with our career developers. We can talk them through all the resources we have and get them into an employment opportunity.
Yeah, and they can find all this information on your website.
They can find it all on our website. Just Google the Hampton Roads Workforce Council right now. We're getting ready to go through some website changes with the merger. So Google's your friend for sure.
Okay. Well, we're out of time, Shawn, but ladies and gentlemen, I think you can see how fortunate we are to have Shawn Avery at the helm of now the merged Hampton Roads Workforce Council. He's doing an excellent job. He's got a great staff over there. So if you're in the business community and you need services that Shawn and his team can provide, reach out to him. This concludes this episode of Chamber Chats. Please stay tuned. In about 2 weeks, we'll have another Hampton Roads Chamber Chat. Thank you very much.